Listen, you might be begrudging the fact that school is still happening during this time, or maybe you have a job right now and you're just wishing it was canceled so you could just take a break. Or maybe you just have a lot more chores because you're spending a lot more time at home. Whatever situation you're in, listen, imitate Christ and don't be lazy. Hey everybody, John here with another devotion in our series called Jesus Unfiltered. So I heard the news that online school just started for a lot of you this week. Now, for some of you, that's exciting because you're actually so bored right now that going and doing schoolwork, even at home, sounds like going to Disneyland. And I get that. But for some others of you, I know that the idea of having to do school at home right now just doesn't sound like fun at all, and I get that too. Regardless of your take on getting back into the online classroom, I thought this would be a good opportunity to take a look at Jesus Unfiltered and see how Jesus approached school and work. Now, some people might think that Jesus was this sort of wandering wise guru who just sort of depended on other people for everything. The truth is that Jesus was definitely not lazy. In fact, the life of Jesus shows us someone who was committed not only to work, but to actual hard labor. Think about this. For 18 years at least, Jesus was a carpenter. In Mark chapter 6, Jesus actually returns to his hometown, Nazareth, and the people recognize him by saying, "Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary?" My dad, among a host of other careers over his lifetime, was actually a carpenter. And anytime I ever helped him or watched him work with wood, I was always amazed at the amount of time and patience that it took. I mean, the smallest carpentry project can be something that requires your entire day. And carpentry isn't just tough physical work, but it's also technical and requires a lot of practice and attention to detail and patience. It's kind of awesome to think that the God who made us would choose that as the sort of vocation he would want during his life on earth. Also, think about the kind of people Jesus himself hung out with and chose to be around. Fishermen and tax collectors. The mark of these men is not just that they're uneducated or humble, but also that they're laborers. Jesus seemed to really appreciate hard workers. And I'm willing to bet that he was the kind of man that hard-working laborers could also appreciate and actually wanted to be around. He was not soft and lazy. He probably carried himself with a sort of strength and dignity that only comes from years of actually working with your hands. You've met those kinds of men before, right? Those kind of worked, hardened men that we respect and look up to. But Jesus was also a good student. A good student. Wait a minute, I thought he was a rabbi, and rabbi means teacher. Well, it does, but don't forget that when Jesus was 12 years old, he actually went to the temple and sat and listened to teachers and asked them questions. And get this, he did that without any provoking from his parents. He wanted to do that. You can read all about it in Luke chapter 2. And at the end of that chapter, it even says that Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. Part of Jesus taking on flesh was him willingly submitting to having to learn and grow in wisdom. So what do we learn from this and how do we apply it? Well, if we're going to follow after Jesus and imitate him, we should understand that growing in wisdom and working hard is part of that. Yes, rest is important, and yes, vacations are good, but work and study is good too. In fact, better than good, work and study are holy. How can I say that? Well, if you caught Pastor Anthony's sermon this past Sunday, which was awesome, and you should, he actually pointed out that work was something that was instituted before the curses that come from the fall in Genesis. Work was never a curse from God. It has always only ever been a blessing for us. But the greatest example to us that work and study can actually be holy really comes from Jesus himself. Jesus really did work, and he really did grow in wisdom, and everything Jesus ever did was holy. Remember Colossians 3:17. Whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Listen, you might be begrudging the fact that school is still happening during this time, or maybe you have a job right now and you're just wishing it was canceled so you could just take a break. Or maybe you just have a lot more chores because you're spending a lot more time at home. Whatever situation you're in, listen, imitate Christ and don't be lazy. Consider these moments as what they actually are, opportunities to glorify God in all that you do. Listen, I am here for you. Your leaders are here for you. We love you guys. If there's any prayer needs you have right now because of school or whatever, please contact me. Let me know. Put it in the comments. Send me a message. Love to be praying for you. Hey, this Thursday at 6 p.m., we're gonna try to do a Zoom Bible study online at Thursday at 6 p.m. If you are at all interested in joining that, anyone 6th through 12th grade is welcome to join us. Send me a message, send me an email, phone call, whatever, and I'll send you a link to join us. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.